Here I am back with the hp9830. I want to see if the tape drive works. So I think I successfully saved a program on tape. Let's see. So there's nothing in the memory now. But if I rewind the tape and I say load 0, what loaded something. Let's see if it runs. Okay, the tape works. There's something a little unusual about the tape on this thing. I've used tape on things like the Sinclair and Commodore, and with that, whenever you save, it just saves wherever the tape is. This thing actually keeps track of where files start and end. So if you put in a blank tape, you have to run a command called mark. So if I rewind this tape, you could say mark, and then you say how many files you want. So let's have 2 files of, I don't know, 500 bytes each. That's pretty long. And what this will do is this will, from the beginning of the tape, allocate space for 2 files, each of that size. So if I put in a new program, 10 disp new, I should be able to store this at position 1. And I should be able to make a new one, so I can go 10 disp boo, and let's save that version as in slot 0, store 0. So now if I turn this off, and then back on, I should be able to say load 0, we have the boo version. I should also be able to say load 1, and you have the new version, and I also should be able to go back and say, oh, you know what, I actually want 0, load 0. And I have back to the boo version. So it's almost like it's a disk. It's linear, but it does have a file system on the disk. And so when you say mark and you say 2, I created 2 files of a certain length. Then if I want to, you could tell this thing to go to the end of the last file and add more files. So you can keep adding more and more files on the end of the cassette tape. And when I look at the manual actually seems to show this structure. It's kind of like a linked list. From the beginning of the tape, it has a file number, and then the length, and then some space, and then a file number, and the length, and some space. And then you could just keep appending to the end of it. You can overwrite files, but you can never really shrink a file. You can just sort of add new files at the end, or overwrite files. Like if you shrink a file, there'll be wasted space between files. But yeah, the cassette tape works. So as far as I know, this thing is now 100% functional. The only thing wrong with it was one bad 7442 logic chip. So I still have no idea what to do with this thing. There was this plastic piece that was sort of glued on, and it is now completely broke. So maybe I'll try to glue it again and clean this up, and maybe I could even get paint that matches this. I don't know. But yeah, once it's completely restored, I still have absolutely no use for this thing. But it's kind of fun to play with.